why don't you stand up? Kevin is one of our new bus drivers. Also, Miss Crowley's husband. They have taken our cross-country team and all the places you've gone this year, every Saturday. But I'm also, after Mr. Berta goes, I want to have Miss Crowley give the stats of our students this year because there's a lot of great. And I'll stand up here and give the awards. But I wanted to say, Ms. Crowley, thank you for being a difference maker in our community.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
I love you.
I love you. Okay, Mr. Berger, why don't you talk about our students, and I'll be happy to celebrate them for you.
Yeah. So our volleyball team, our players are tremendous. They put in a lot of hard work, and they deserve a lot of recognition and credit. Just speaking on this team, of course we hosted a tournament, and I guess I'm kind of jumping the gun right here, but we've hosted a tournament here at the school. We called it the Williamsburg All-A Invitational, and we've actually won that this year in the second hosting of that tournament. Not just that, but I put on my notes in all caps, another 13th Region All-A Championship.
This is four. Four.
Not just four, but four in a row. And then, consequently, this is our fourth year in a row participating in the All-A State Tournament. Previous 3 years it's been in Richmond. This year it was in Elizabethtown. And then also this year, for the first time in the school's history, the program's history, we won, or I should say we, the girls, they won their first two 50th district regular season games. And that's not been done in the history. And then lastly, just something else for them. This is our second consecutive winning season. Last year we got up to 19 wins. This year they got up to 17. And I think that's significant because, again, the previous note was that we had won, the girls had won 50th district games, and we're in the same district as Corbin, Whitley, and South. So that is something to not take lightly, and that only has helped us to help them to prove that they are worthy opponents in a consecutive winning season. So that's the girls. I don't know if you want me to continue on.
You sure can. I think that's great. Do you have any girls here that were able to come? Because if not, I can give theirs later.
No, they play a lot of other sports. We have a few that are on the basketball team, a few that cheer, and just to add on to, I guess, their commitment to volleyball and to the school, we've had several that are actually out at a club tryout tonight for club volleyball. So they are, like I said at the top, they are tremendous. They work extremely hard, and of course they've had a lot of obstacles, challenges, but they're resilient, and they deserve all the credit, all the recognition. I kind of feel awkward up here standing here talking about them, and of course everybody's going to point to me, but that is not the case. The girls are tremendous, especially the senior group, Hannah Creekmore, Heidi Wiles, and Lorelei Coleman. They're trailblazers, and they've set the path and the trajectory of this of Williamsburg volleyball through the roof to the stars. So can't say any greater things about them. I guess, of course, here to recognize them. But just to continue on, I know I've submitted a board agenda item, and you guys can read that. I'm not going to take up too much time. I do want to say a few thank yous, just so I can back up on my notes right here. Thank you to you all for raising the board allocated money to help fund volleyball, not just volleyball, but all of the other sports. So thank you for that. Not just them, but also Dayspring Health. They're a tremendous sponsor and supporter of not just volleyball, but other sports here. And then our continuous community partners that we for our advertisements and stuff like that. And then lastly, on my thank yous, I do want to thank Mr. Mike Abbott for updating the records board in the gym that recognizes and remembers not just the volleyball team's All-A championships and state appearances, but also basketball, and there's another one up there, or maybe cheer, but cheer's up there as well. So
we get to add a new one to that, to cheer.
That's great, right? Awesome. So thank you to Mr. Mike Abbott for that. I guess lastly, I would like to ask the board, I put on here, how can you help us, not just us in volleyball, but also the students and other, I guess, people and groups that utilize the gym. How can you help us, and I'm sorry, but simply by building another gym. That would help us.
We've only wanted one since 1983.
Right, so, I mean, that's how you can help us. It would be a tremendous help for all of our programs. Elementary basketball, just off the top of my head, right? Elementary basketball, and that's boys and girls. Middle school basketball, boys and girls. Cheer, who, our middle school cheer program, just won over this past weekend, right? Of course, that would help volleyball as well, not just high school, but middle school as well, and even dipping down into the elementary grades. So that's how you can help us. I guess I'm pleading to you all to maybe help us with that. Lastly, and this is just, I'm sorry, just another volleyball thing, would be that, and I was talking to Mrs. Housekeeper about this a couple months ago, we're growing and we don't have enough space. And that's just in everything, but in particular to volleyball, our locker room, it's very nice. Thank you for that. But like I said, it's a little bit small. We simply don't, we don't use it for our middle school season, just because we have too many girls, and just simply, there's not enough room to even share. I was telling Mrs. Housekeeper, like I said a couple of months ago, we had 22 girls on our volleyball team for high school, and we utilized the lockers to hang up some of the jerseys and stuff, kind of storage, right? And so we allowed the girls to pick their lockers and all that stuff. Well, I was utilizing the locker to hang up jerseys, and we only have 22 lockers in there, and because of that, the girls didn't say anything to me. There were two 8th graders, and they decided to share a locker, and this went on for a week, and I didn't recognize it, I didn't realize it. They didn't say anything. And when I asked them why, they said, well, because we know we need that space, you need that space for the jerseys. And granted, we have a ton of jerseys. So again, thank you for that. But of course, I cleared out the locker so they could have that. So again, that's how you could help us. And then lastly, I'm here on not just behalf of me, I'm here on behalf of my assistant coaches. Because, and not just our assistant coaches, but across the board, right? In all athletics, and even however it relates to school. But my assistant coaches, they are tremendous. They have experience, they have knowledge, they are, I wouldn't take any other coaches around for volleyball except for those two. I would not do it. I remember when I was interviewed for the head coaching job in the front office by Mr. John Harris back there, I told him, and I hope he remembers this, I said, I'll do it. I'll coach the volleyball team only if I can have who with me. Right? And he said, absolutely. And I knew the impact that not only that she has on me, but that she would have on the girls as well. Right? And so I say all that, not just to, she's a great person, not just Josie, but Natalie as well. And so their experience, their playing experience, their coaching experience, I could rattle it off. Right? We need higher coaching staff. And so I'm here on behalf of that, not just for volleyball, and I'll let you guys read that in there regarding volleyball. But cross country, track, baseball, softball, right? All of those, I guess I deem them as secondary sports, but they deserve it as well. And so that's why I'm here, not just because of that, but also for the resources and to recognize the tremendous student athletes that we have here, not just in our volleyball program, but across all sports here at Williamsburg, right? They're tremendous. So thank you for the opportunity for me to speak and to listen to me. And thank you for that. I do have some shirts here. I got your shirt sizes from Miss Shauna Norris. She's tremendous as well. I didn't have all the sizes that I might would need, so you guys can filter through those, and they're all yours. So thank you for that.
Hey, Dirk.
Yes, ma'am.
This is for Natalie and Josie
Thank you so much.
and all the girls.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you for all your hard work too. We appreciate it as a board and as a community.
Yes.
My name is Misty Crowley. Can you hear me now? Okay. I kind of inherited the cross-country coaching position this year. My daughter ran the last couple of years for Coach Berta, and then when he resigned, he came and asked me if I would take it over. And of course, as soon as I did, I started contacting people that I knew would help me. And so I could not have done this job at all this year without Chad Terry, my assistant coach, and John Harris. So
Come up here, guys.
I really appreciate them. John retired from Williamsburg in 2019, but he continues to provide support for the cross-country program and the track and field program. Coach Harris helped
He's
run
doing the defense for
practices. I
Zayden,
went on
for
vacation
sure.
this summer, and he
Thank you, sir.
volunteered to come
Here
and
you go.
help do the practices.
Let's
And
get
he
Mrs. Shaw.
also, with other coaches, created a seasonal weekly workout program from July all the way to state. And so that's what we followed this year. He would shoot us the workouts, and so we knew, Chad and I knew exactly what he wanted us to do. And this is something that he's worked on for years. You know, he was the cross-country coach here, and they had so much success. They had state champions. And so I totally trusted anything. I mean, I was totally new. I'm not a runner, so I was new to the sport, and so I really trusted him. And I think that we had the success that we could possibly do in the circumstances that we had. We started the preseason July 15th, and it was at 7 a.m., and that's in the middle of their summer. And we actually had 9 athletes that started the season with us on July 15th, and they combined for 340 hours of training by the time the season started. So that's Zayden Housekeeper, Pascal White, Jack Brooks, Tatum Crowley, Noah Nichols, Caleb Nichols, Ian Christopher, Jana Stevens, and Bryson Hamby. They all started day one with us, and to ask a kid to give up part of their summer, and our attendance was fantastic. And so I was afraid when I first took this job over that I wouldn't have anybody show up. And then we had these 9 great athletes show up. And Ian Christopher, actually, I want to mention him. He had the best attendance. He only missed 1 day of preseason practice. He had 95% attendance. It was fantastic. So then after registration, we had a table at registration, and I came to it and started harassing kids to see if I could get more kids to join. And so we had these students join, and they started the practices at 7 a.m. And I do want to mention that none of these kids had ever ran cross country before. And so, but they dove right in and started doing So that's Haley Adkins, Catherine Brown, Eli Russell, Macy Wilson, Ashton Foley, and Keaton Cornett. And so by the end of, at the end of the season, we added a few things. I wanted to try to look at the whole athlete this year instead of just having them run, because cross country is a 6-day sport. You know, we practice Monday through Friday. Every Saturday is our meet, and so they were committing to give us 6 days. I mean, that's a lot. And so I wanted to mix it up, and Elizabeth Christopher, her husband is here, but Elizabeth is not. She actually works for UC, and she's Ian's mom. And so I talked to her during the preseason about some nutrition and yoga classes. And so we actually started doing that. We were teaching the kids how to track their nutrition to make sure that they were eating enough calories versus how much we were making them run through the week. And then every other Wednesday we would take a yoga class, and the kids loved it. And so I do appreciate Elizabeth, and I actually have her a certificate to send home. You know, she did that free of charge, just helping us out. I mean, that's such a good community collaboration, and I really appreciate that. That's something I'd like to continue. Starting next preseason, having more of those yoga classes. You know, to be a good runner, you have to be flexible, and bless some of these boys' hearts. I don't think it was hard. Coach Terry did it with them. You know, he was training for his marathon, and so that was something he was really involved in. And so I really appreciate her and us just looking at the whole athlete instead of just running. And so so we ended the season. The team had a combined 20 top 10 finishes and over 25 individual medals. And we also had 2 athletes that went to state at the horse park this year and represented our school, and that was Aiden Housekeeper and Tatum Crowley. And I do want to recognize Melissa Foley. Melissa became our unofficial team mom this year by providing food, goodie bags, and cold weather gear when the team needed it most. When we went to SEKC at Leslie County, it was raining so hard, it was so cold, and we knew the course was a fast course, and so we were hoping that all of our kids would do really good. Well, I was mad, you know, stomping around, and here come Melissa carrying the biggest bunch of cold weather gear you've ever saw. She bought everything the dollar store had. And so I almost started crying because just the circumstances. Well, it ended up every kid we had PR'd that night. I mean, career PR'd. So it was amazing. It turned out amazing, and we were soaked to the bone. We get on the bus, and Melissa has provided warm blankets for us. Well, I did cry at that point, you know. And so,
did she have a meal?
yeah, we ate before we went there, yes. And so she even came up, you know, during state. She provided different goodie bags for the coaches and just different things. And so just so much support, and we can't thank her enough for what she did for the team. I also I've got something for Coach Harris up there. Once again, John helped so much. You know, he was my go-to, especially I'd always contacted him about Tatum anyways as a mother, you know, and I do coach track and field, so there was that connection there. And so he's just so valuable to our school and to our cross-country program, and also cross country is just not a popular sport when you're comparing it to volleyball or to football or cheer. It's hard, and there's not too many kids that would wake up at 6 o'clock on their summer days and come and run 4, 5, 6 miles a day. And so I appreciate that. I'm in awe of them, and I thank everybody for their support this year.
Hey, you guys come here and let's get a picture. So
Misty, we thank you too. A lot of work.
you guys want to get in the picture with us?
Come on, guys. They want a picture. They want to see a picture.
I don't know that I can move, I have a connection here.
I have to get up here.
Bruce, I know you're so tall.
I'm Stafford. I'm 6'4" when I went to the doctor. Got it from mom.
Yeah, I know. You overcame her.
On a daily basis. On a daily basis, he overcomes me.
Oh, yeah, well, I meant height-wise, Well,
He's
what
outta
we
here.
got?
He's outta here.
I mean, we got more to work on this. Can we see something, huh?
We've got Mr. Cons. So go ahead.
Well, then we're not through. Okay. Get on Mr. Khan.
I will. Good evening. So I'm here to talk about our CTE program. But first, before we begin that, tomorrow, our STLP, our Student Technology Leadership Program, is actually competing in regionals. This is our first step into a state competition that will be held in Rupp-Arena. So to have a good run through before they actually meet with the judges tomorrow, it'll be a virtual meeting during the day. They wanted the opportunity to come and present their project ideas to you all this evening. So first I'm going to have my elementary team come on up here. Okay, y'all go ahead and speak loud, all right? All right.
You can take the microphone off of there.
So what we're doing is we're going to make a bunch of transportation around Kentucky. And this is my partner Eli, which
Hi.
so is our idea right here.
The problem we are solving is lack of good transportation in Kentucky. Like, you can't find a bus as easily as other places like New York. So,
Our idea is to create an app that makes bus transportation easier over southeastern Kentucky.
so we introduced the bus stop app. It will give you the ticket price and destination.
Neat.
We use quo.org to make this app, which is very efficient.
Our project will make it easier to make buses to like get you on one faster.
Basically what he's saying is it's easier. So what we're doing is bus companies can put their stuff on our app. So it's basically like an app so they don't have to make their own. We will know we will reach our goal when people start using our app more and more often.
We will tell the world by ads, YouTube, and Twitter.
We will work with our local transportation company.
Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Good job, guys. All right, middle school team, if y'all come on up here.
This is the Williamsburg Independent Project Wing, Renew, Recharge, Revive by Sawyer, Colin, Peyton, and Jericho. Project Wing. We will be utilizing a EMS drone. Project Wing is the STLP project from Williamsburg Independent Middle School. It involves an EMS drone, emergency medical services that carries various medical supplies and equipment. This medical drone is designed to reach difficult locations in emergency situations, such as when someone has severed a finger or is experiencing a heart attack in places that EMS will have a hard time getting to. The drone will also have a very strong force with it being able to lift around 60 pounds. And here's some images and descriptions of our drone. And we'll also be utilizing a secondary ATV medical robot in the base of the drone. The ATV medical robot will be attached to the underside of the EMS drone. Its job will be able to provide first aid such as applying a tourniquet, administering Narcan, or giving an epinephrine. Both the drone and the ATV will have cameras so that a unmanned aerial systems specialist can control them. Additionally, the drone will feature a screen that allows the UASS to give instructions. Why Project Wing is important. We reside in the Appalachian Mountains, and getting first responders to a scene quickly can be tough. This issue has existed for many years, and our team is determined to find a solution. We care because we want to help. We want to help save lives. We also believe it will improve emergency medical services.
Adding on to that, adding on to that, why Project Wing is important too. This is where our team drone comes in. The drone will be quick and capable. It can go over any terraria due to it being able to fly. It could take EMS an hour, and the EMS drone can fit where helicopters cannot. Due to it being only around a foot long and wide, the compact design of the EMS drone enables it to access tight spaces such as caves, houses, and other remote or small areas where traditional medical specialists might struggle to provide assistance. The details of the drone. The drone will carry essential first aid items like a gas mask, Narcan, epinephrine, and basic first aid kits. It will operate from a 911 dispatch center and be piloted by a UASS, unnamed aerial systems specialist. The 911 dispatch team will track how many lives are saved and what is useful data purposes such as how much Narcan and epinephrine to put in the drone storage. The secondary ATV. The secondary
ATV robot will be kept underneath the drone. This robot will play a crucial role in administering AED and Narcan. A licensed UASS unmanned aerial systems specialist will also be operating the EMS ATV. The VEX system will be utilized to create this secondary ATV robot, keeping it light but powerful with the movement and ability to do stuff like an EpiPen or put a gas mask on a person's face, or apply nitroglycerin in case of a heart attack or basic chest pain. Technology. To make our project a reality, we plan to use 3D printing technology to create an EMS drone for a light but strong body. For the secondary ATV, we will implement the VEX 5 robotic system for the ATV to keep it strong and lightweight, will enable the ATV to assist patients effectively, quickly, and correctly. The EMS drone and the ATV will be equipped with cameras, and the drone will have a microphone to hear the patient, a screen to comfort or guide the patient, and a series of thermal and other cameras to find the patient. Lastly, a tracker in the case the patient is in a place that can't be located with an address like a large forest or a mountain range.
Project Wings goals. An ambulance usually takes 10 to 20 minutes to get to a medical emergency, but our team's drone will get there much quicker since it doesn't have to deal with traffic or other obstacles. In some cases, if injuries are severe, a person can lose lots of blood in just 5 minutes. That's why we aim to help someone in under 5 minutes to find out if we can achieve that goal. We communicate with the survivors who benefit from our drones systems. We plan to promote our project through our school's YouTube, Facebook, and other Williamsburg independent social media accounts. This will help us keep our community informed on what we're doing. We believe that this part is really important because for the drone EMS to be helpful, the people it aims to assist need to know about it. We are going to team up with the Whitley County EMS to ensure our project by working closely with them. We will gather valuable information and insight that can help us improve our work. Furthermore, we will also partner with the local police department and take advantage of their drones as resources to further bolster our project's efficiency. Thank you for listening. That's everything.
Definitely got some ambitious kids, don't I? That's good. I was supposed to talk to you a little bit tonight about my cybersecurity pathway and just let you kind of know what else is going on. STLP is a big part of what we do. We also have a high school branch, but they actually compete at the day in Lexington. So let's just talk about CTE. The cybersecurity pathway, 388 students. That's it. In the state of Kentucky have decided that cybersecurity was going to be their field of choice. 17 of those come from Williamsburg Independent. So you are responsible for nearly 5% of all the cybersecurity workforce in the entire state of Kentucky, a little Williamsburg Independent. I'm very proud of that fact. I'm also very proud that this year we've added a robotics program, Lego Robotics, with our elementary and middle school teams, thanks to our World Partners of Innovation, and we're competing there in December. I'm also proud to say that last year we scored 100% in that wonderful testing and rating system of either a kid being in college or career ready. And actually scored an extra 0.25 because one of the students passed one of the major certificates. From a IT specialist, I'll tell you these certificates are not easy to obtain, but because our students go here, they are able to do the following. All right, you go follow along with me. They're able to do what is called the CompTIA A+, which is they can go fix your computer. That's what that means, or your cell phone. They can do your Network Plus, which means they obviously hook up all your internet connections coming and going. They can now do your cybersecurity, which is called Security Plus. Those 3 certificates alone, if you have those, not counting college degree or anything else, is worth about $75,000 to $90,000 a year out of high school, working remotely. That's not bad money. Now, let's add on to that. This year, we're adding on something called SISA Plus, which is one step higher than our Security Plus. This was just approved in our, we had to have an annual, semi-annual meeting with our local stakeholders out in the community. They recommended this, so we're adding it. And they also are adding what's called Linux Plus, which is a higher degree of Network Plus. So by the time that they leave Williamsburg Independent, you have 5 certificates that show that they are career or college ready. They also get college credit for 2 of those classes in hardware and in cybersecurity. So they at least get 6 hours. Cumberland has further agreed that if they pass their certificates, they'll give them an extra 3 hours of college credit, meaning 15 hours of IT undergrad studies out of the gate before they even walk over. Very, very proud. Other quick things, we still have TSA. You're going to hear about that in the spring. And we all, Lego Robotics and of course STLP. So needless to say, we are hopping. And it's, I'm very proud of these young men here tonight that we're presenting. I'm proud of the current students that we currently have in our program. And the future looks very, very bright. Do y'all have any questions about any of the above? Because that was quite a bit.
Good.
Hey, just think about that. 5% of the entire cybersecurity pathway in the state of Kentucky comes from right here at home.
That's great. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll get there. All right, now we would like to hear from anyone that wants to address the board.
Mr. Brennan Patrick.
Okay.
Good evening. I am Brennan Patrick. I'm the high school head baseball coach. I'm basically coming to present and ask. I've been in discussions with tourism of the city, and they have agreed to potentially build us a 80 by 60 foot hitting facility that our baseball team can use, our softball team can use, and then also potentially Little League, to where Little League players can use it as well. It goes along with Coach Berta at some level. We are very cramped in the gym. As he mentioned, this is a way for us, like today, I'm actually in the middle, I've got my assistant coaches, finally got them, yay. But they're over doing baseball practice right now, but it gives us a chance to where I could then take my boys and we could go down to that facility and run a full practice undercover, and be able to basically let them, and we're out of the way of basketball, volleyball, we're not in anybody's way, and we have our own space. And then also softball can also be in there as well. And then our middle school teams, I know Coach Pruitt is trying to restart a softball middle school team, so it also gives them a place to practice as well, especially in the rain. And in the spring, we get a lot of rain. in this area. I'm still praying for no flooding in the future. That's my goal at least. But it gives us a place to where we're undercover, but we can still get work in and not have to be in a cramped gym with everybody else. So I've been in discussions with tourism about this. They've agreed to it. Basically, what I'm asking for is for them to be able to build it, they need the deed to the land to be able to build. So I'm basically asking, I have the survey here. I don't know if I need to give these to you or to Ms. Shauna.
Where is the land?
Yes, so the land is right next to the baseball field where you have, it's on, I believe it's, I'm still trying to learn all the streets in the area. But it's right Briar Creek. You have the new apartments that Cumberland's just built. Down that road, you've got that curve right before that underpass under the railroad tracks, and there's that white church. It would be right next to that white church. That would be where they would build it, 80 by 60 foot. They also, from what I understand, they're planning on putting a parking lot for parking and such like that as well. So I'm just basically asking, and from what I understand is they've got the builders already ready to roll, like they're ready to get on it. We just need to get the deed to them so they can get going. And the quicker we can get it, the better off for us, because we're getting in these cold months and more rain, and the more we can get to work, it's just going to make us better on the field, make softball better on the field, because we're in a tough district with Whitley, Corbin, and they have some areas that they're able to do that in. We have not had that. That is okay, but we're having a chance to make it better for our students and our athletes.
Discussions with our school attorney on this?
Okay, so that's why I have Brennan presenting at the public comment, because
why?
Because
he's one of us. Are you public also?
Well, because he's sharing on behalf of tourism and Mayor Roddy Harrison, so he's just sharing information, which we will then. I wanted him to share all of that so that we can then, confer with our board attorney, and then if we have to have a special call meeting, whatever, we can do that to approve that. But this is going to take a little bit of legwork, and this is just a presentation to you guys about what it's for. And he's speaking on behalf of 2 different community groups. So I wanted you to hear the spiel, and then we'll have time to be able to confer with Paul.
4,800 square feet, is that what we're saying? 80
yes,
by 60 would
yes,
be
sir.
40.
Yes,
How
sir.
high?
How high? 12 feet.
What?
12 feet high.
I don't think the baseball or the softball can get up in the air.
Now, yes, I agree with you. This is not a thing of where we're going to be hitting fly balls or anything like that. This is strictly we will have.
You're going to hit into cages. You're in a cage and you're going.
Yes, sir. We'll have 2 batting cages.
12 feet. How high does it have to be to hit a volleyball, guys? Got to be more than 12 feet, doesn't it?
So that's close to 8 feet.
Huh?
That's close to 8 feet.
Yeah, how high do we hit it when we try to serve it or whatever?
Well, sometimes it goes pretty high. So yes, sir.
Well, now, I mean, we got to know how high, if we're going to use it for practice, how can we practice? 12 feet isn't high to me. That's 2 feet above a ball goal.
Yeah, but I think he's thinking that it's dual purpose, 2 birds.
Well, I know. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that looks like to me we need it higher if we can get it. Who's designing it, Alvin? Who's designing it?
The designer is the same person that did the Corbin Little League, batting cages at their Little League park. The same guy. The thing is it wouldn't work for volleyball, but it works for softball and baseball, because volleyball's an indoor.
This is for you. This is opening the door for you guys then to go do a little bit of research on what, meet with Alvin, talk with Roddy, talk with Paul, see what, then let's come up with a plan. And if we need to do a special call board meeting, we can do that to get it approved if you all decide that's what you want to do. But that's why we're not making a decision on it tonight. There's a lot of legwork that needs to be done in the background. So that's why
sounds like tourism in the city is, they're willing to get us started quickly if we do our.
Yes, ma'am. They've got.
I've heard the whole spiel, and tourism is willing to get it done, to get it done. I mean, like now, if we can get ourselves together.
But we can't approve it tonight.
Right.
It's just an informational.
And I was not expecting an approval. I was
Well,
just.
to me, if we can decide how high you guys could be, why we need extra facilities for everything, and you all aren't indoors all the time. As far as I know, we don't have outdoor volleyball, do we? Do y'all play in the outdoors? We were going to go to Pruden to play outdoor basketball, and they gamed it because they had a hard court that was mud.
But can you move those batting cages that easily?
Yes, I can. We will be able to just
Oh, that'd
push
be
them and slide
portable.
them.
I mean, to
and
me,
they're out
you
of the
could
way.
move the cages, and then you're gonna hit, okay, you got pitching machine and all that, but you hit, what I'm getting at, if this is workable, then, okay, fine. I'd be for it 100%, but I'd like it high enough to where they could use it too. How many, I mean, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to take it away from you all, but the big deal for us is he just named 487 sports that we have in the gym at one time between boys and girls and volleyball and cheerleading and baseball because you all are indoors in the winter. I'm just saying, is this you've talked to Roddy, the mayor, and Alvin Sharp, the tourist person. Is that who you have talked to personally?
Yes, I've talked to them both personally.
Okay. But we got a problem too, and we need a lawyer because we need this over. The city gave it to us, right? The city gave us that area for our baseball field. Okay, so I don't have anything with that, but see what we get into is the stupidness of the having to construct it in such a way, that so it meets all of the requirements. In other words, we could build us this field house for a reasonable sum, and a field house to me is a practice facility for basketball, volleyball, hockey, whatever else we have. But to me, then, I mean, you follow what I'm saying. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just saying I would like it to be, if we could enter in even and fund some for the height. I am big on the height more than anything. So, okay.
Yeah, I don't think volleyball would ever, I guess, use that. I didn't know anything about Coach Patrick's, information. So
What about volleyball?
I said, I don't think volleyball would ever use that.
Why wouldn't you?
We're indoor.
That's indoors, aren't you?
No, sir, it will not be enclosed. It is just going to be covered.
No.
It will not be enclosed. Now-
Sorry, okay. I was wanting a real building myself, yeah.
Now, baseball and softball, me and Coach Pruitt have been in discussions about potentially, hopefully one day enclosing it, potentially through maybe getting a sponsor, different sponsors to be able to enclose it. That is in the future. This is just getting the structure for us to start being able to use
What
it.
are you
now.
building? 4 walls around it with the?
So no, it'll be basically like I guess you could say like a basically a roof.
Huh?
Pergola.
Like a roof,
kind of deal.
like a shelter.
A shelter.
With batting
yeah.
cages.
Okay, so no walls, just
Yes, sir.
4
It would
posts
be-
and a.
Probably
And a
might as well
roof.
get the Little League thing down there.
Well,
Okay.
It sounds
I
like
would like to see us
I was with
proceed
you.
with checking into
I
it,
was with you. I thought it was
and,
Yeah, I thought
I
it was a
think Ms.
building.
Housekeeper would probably coordinate that for
Yes, I
you,
will.
with our attorney and with, the city, and we're appreciative of them being partners on this, so.
Yes, I am as
Thanks
well.
for your work on it.
Thank you. If there's anything
Yeah,
else
that's
I need to
good.
do, I'll do it.
That was a
Thank you.
shock that hit me
Thank
with
you.
this.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
But you see, my point, if we could do the facility, that's a waste of space. Okay, sorry. Now we've had public, now we go to consent agenda. Oh, we have another person. Go ahead.
I'm Brent White. I'm father of Peyton, one of the kids with the STLP program. I was also there when they met and voted on what certificates, they wanted to go for. The numbers and everything, I know it don't seem like a lot, but just the passion I see in some of these kids and the experience they get, I mean, that's the future. That's where we're headed. Everything's going to be network, or everything's going to be related to, in some way to these certificates. And the last couple of years, when they competed up there, we've had kids place in the top 10 in several categories, and just I'm just asking for just whatever support for Mr. Comm and
need to consider approval of the October minutes, monthly bills, treasurer's report, monthly financial report. Are we gonna let him talk to us or not? Fundraiser request for board travel for the upcoming months. So are we gonna let Dalton talk to us or not?
Comes down here.
Okay.
I do have a question just on the second reading of the retention and promotion policy. It looked as though it remained the same.
It did, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that what I had
We
read.
made no changes. I highlighted,
Yes.
is that the, yeah, so I highlighted all the changes that we did make, and so I didn't change anything. There was no suggestions from you all. I think that was
Right, okay,
what you all
yeah.
needed.
I just wanted to make sure that what I had read was,
Yeah, correct, so.
okay.
Yeah, to kind of prevent any kind of last minute thing, you know, those conversations are gonna kind of take place 6 weeks or so. Well,
Yes.
the recommendations are gonna be 6 weeks before the end of school. That way we've got time, to plan for the academic side of things, so.
Thank you, your work on that.
Thank you.
Is that it then? We asked for,
I'd like to make a motion that we, approve the consent agenda.
I'll
Second.
second it.
all right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes. Action agenda?
You skip the principal comments, and you all wanna hear this.
We don't wanna hear it, do we?
Yes, you do. It's big news.
Okay.
It's a big deal.
Sorry
You'll
about
be
that.
pumped.
We can't count that as being done. We've gotta get the superintendent and
Set 'em up.
principal comments. Who's speaking?
Ms.
Principal?
Parton?
All right, we are proud to announce that Williamsburg City School has received a 2024 College Success Award. So what this is for our post-secondary readiness scores and our graduation rate. So that goes into our ACT scores, our kids becoming college and career ready. We were one of only 31 schools in Kentucky who received this award. So
Great.
that's a true testament to the work that Mr. Taylor, Ms. Jones, Jason Smith, that they have really put into ensuring that our juniors and seniors become post-secondary ready. So that's been a big push, I know, in Mr. Taylor's time here, so really there's true success in that. We had a 97.8% graduation rate. We actually just got some of those changes back. And that is above the 96% average of the schools who received this award. So that's the Kentucky schools. There was only 1,436 high schools in the United States that received this award. So it really is a great honor. We've added the college success icon to our website, so you can see that on there at the bottom of our website. In other announcements, we are really making headway with our new structure. So the assistant principals at each level and then our teaching and learning coaches, we have been able to get into 155 classroom walkthroughs just since October 14th. So I really think that just having more boots on the ground, and thank you guys for that, thank you for this structure, because we are truly seeing what an impact we can have getting into classrooms and providing teachers with feedback on their instruction. And so hopefully we see really positive outcomes of that. We've been working really hard on our MTSS plan and our structure. We've devised an MTSS handbook that outlines everything that we're doing as far as interventions and enrichments for students. A lot of our interventions that we've been focused on thus far are in the K-8 range, but we have also implemented some interventions in high school. We have all kinds of, everybody that we could pull helping with student interventions in this MTSS plan. We've given a lot of human resources within our schools to implement win time in grades 1st through 5th right now, and then kindergarten will start after Christmas. And we're hoping that by doing this, these interventions will pay off, and also we're hoping to provide enrichments for students who need that extra push too. So in order to just better meet those student needs, we've been working really hard in that regard. So.
Great.
So with this announcement, I realize that it's been put on our website, but we need to look at some other ways to advertise this.
Yes,
This
and we
is
have a
big
Facebook
Good
Yeah.
deal. I'm glad you're on top of that,
Yes.
because that's just very important, and our community needs to realize
Absolutely.
How
what's
good
going
we
on.
are.
We appreciate your work too.
We're also going to celebrate our students. So they were top 10 in writing in Kentucky. Our seniors were.
10
And
out of
so-
172 districts.
Yeah, and so we're going to celebrate them on Monday. We're going to have a special lunch for them. Miss Dina is going to provide a taco nacho bar, and we're getting them journal and pen sets just to celebrate them and that accomplishment, because that's really something to be proud of too.
Great.
Great.
Huge. Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Can we move to the action agenda since we okay, moving on to the action agenda. We got a clarification on the first one. Number one is approval of change order number 1 for Musco Lighting in the amount of $10,625. Any questions, comments, or wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion, and I'm glad that it's been changed. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what we had to, it was a little shock.
Yes, it was.
All right,
It's being changed from, to what, Shauna? Because that needs to be in the minutes.
it was
10,685.
10,685.
Said,
Okay.
what the crap?
Big difference.
Okay, so
But then
did we
the
get a
total-
second? Did we get a vote?
I'll do a second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, good. Those opposed? No. Number 2, approval of a MOA with Commonwealth of Kentucky supplement CTE funds in the amount of $104,370. Any questions, comments?
That is our LAVEC money. We get that from the state, and it's based on our students who are enrolled in career pathways. So right now we have a media arts pathway, an agriculture science pathway, a business administration pathway, hospitality and entrepreneurship, and then cybersecurity.
Great.
So those funds will go toward that. Yeah.
Any more, any questions? Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Same. Okay, whoops, all right. Number 3, need to have a motion approval to enter into an executive closed session. The closed session is for the purpose to discuss early graduation, so I guess everybody's got to leave the room except us, or you should be happy unless you have to come back. Those of you that like to leave, but you got to
You have
leave.
to come back. You too.
2's got to come back. You 4 probably don't, do you? I know one of you should.
I'll make a motion.
Make a motion.